As far back as I could remember, I always knew everyone in our government was a gangster.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Thinking Logically. I'm your host, Joseph Anthony Corsai. Congratulations to the Riverside Panthers on their victory. They'll be advancing to the next round in the high school playoffs. In our bullpen, it's our producer, Ryan. Ryan, are you getting tired yet?
Oh, we're getting there, buddy, but we're still doing good. It's only 6:30. Riverside got the big win. Ready for the big show, Joe.
Yeah, we were kind of just like saying, about another half hour here, and then bam, 10-run rule. I didn't even know they still had that. It was like, hey, get in here. We got a show to do.
It did throw us for a loop, but you know what? We're set.
All right, and on the phone, he's been on deck for over an hour here. It's our dear friend and co-host, Mr. Gordy. Mark, how are you?
I am great. Congratulations to those Riverside Panthers, Joe. Big win. What do they go on to I believe, the semifinals now? They beat South Park, and they play the winner of South Allegheny and Shenango on Tuesday. And what's up, Ryan? Hardest working man in radio. We got a great show today. And we got some breaking developments that have been just rocking the judicial system, rocking New York City all day, Joe. So let's dive in.
All right, we're going to start on the opposite side of the world, though, because the first topic broke yesterday. A helicopter carrying Iran's president and foreign minister crashed into the side of a mountain. A total of 8 people were confirmed dead. The helicopter was part of a convoy of 3 helicopters, I believe. 2 of those helicopters were carrying ministers and officials who arrived at their destination safely. The other helicopter carrying the Iranian president and foreign minister went down. So for the record here, if you remember, within a week of the Iranian government, an Iranian government official announcing to the world that Iran now has the capability to create a nuclear bomb, the president of that country dies in a terrible, awful helicopter crash. Is there something more to this story? We basically have to figure this out on our own, since our media does more hiding truth than searching for it. Plus, they're more worried about the Trump trial than anything else right now. But our media is deliberately ignoring the stories and any connections these stories may have with one another. So let's break it down. In the words of the great late Prince, dig, if you will, this picture. And speaking of Prince, that's the first one. May 7th, reports of an assassination attempt on the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia in his, quote, little red Corvette. Was it fake news, though? We still don't know if that was legit, if that wasn't a legit assassination attempt or not. Then May 15th, an assassination attempt on the Slovakian Prime Minister Fico. If you remember, he told his people before he was elected that, quote, I would die for you. May 16th, these are Prince references in case you're not paying attention. May 16th, there was an arrest of an individual who threatened the Serbian president, I think it's Vučić. So Serbia seems to think that it's 1999 over there with Slobodan Milosevic as their leader. And then yesterday, May 19th, a helicopter crash involving President Mark, is it Raisi? What is it? Raisi there, who is now dead. Was it an accident or intentional? I guess there's some controversy there now. Also, May 19th, yesterday, Saudi Arabia's King Salman was hospitalized for a second time in 4 weeks. Reports came in he was feeling delirious. And also, on May 19th, yesterday, in Congo, 3 Americans were accused of being involved in a failed coup attempt that left multiple people dead. And there's videos circulating around the internet of the 3 Americans. You'll notice the Congolese soldiers, they are the ones wearing the raspberry berets. Okay, for those of you keeping score at home, this is quite a lot of assassination attempts and or coups the last few weeks, right? Also, a lot of Prince references there, but what are you going to do? Is this all a coincidence? Not the Prince song puns. Those were on purpose. But are we supposed to believe that all these events aren't connected at all? Mark, is it possible this helicopter crash could have been a cyber attack by Israel, the United States, or is this just an Iranian Kobe Bryant situation?
Well, I'm glad you bring that up. I think this is an accident. I'm going to take the opposite end of this, of your thoughts here. Alex Jones would agree with you. He thinks that this is a orchestrated attack on President Raisi. Now, let's not forget, Joe. Let's not forget that he is not, although he is the president of Iran, he is not the leader of Iran. That would be Ayatollah Khamenei. He is the supreme leader of Iran. So President Raisi has basically, he runs kind of the executive branch within the country, but he is not, like I said, the leader of Iran. That would be Ayatollah Khamenei. It looked like from the footage that was released that it was very foggy. I mean, weather probably, I mean, they're saying weather played a factor in this crash. You bring up the point here that 2 of the 3 other helicopters landed safely, but I didn't see that at all. But let's just hope this is an accident. Let's just put it that way. Let's hope this is an accident. Let's hope this was not some terror attack, because if it is, and this comes out, I mean, we will be headed to World War III. I mean, Iran will unleash hell on whoever did this. But Joe, did you see that our U.S. Senate actually offered a prayer for President Raisi today, the butcher of Tehran?
Mm-hmm. As he's been.
Our U.S. Senate offered a prayer for someone who killed hundreds of people in Tehran.
Did they do a prayer for Lincoln Riley?
I don't believe they did.
I wonder why.
But never ceases to amaze us. Alex Jones said, I have confirmed that all of the satellite weather data for the day of the Iranian president's crash has been removed. Over a month ago, I warned that the world should expect the attempted assassination of all leaders supporting Russia's war in Ukraine. A week ago, they shot FICO 5 times. Now the Iranian president is dead. This is not a coincidence, and more action will come. This is shadow war plunging us towards world war.
Just to piggyback off of the Alex Jones comment, so what he said about Russia and stuff like that, they joined BRICS and they strengthened their relationship with Russia. Iran did. They advocated for the de-dollarization of nations across the world. They support Palestine over Israel. And what is the look east strategy with Africa and Latin America, where they want to get in over there? So I can see where Alex Jones, you put all these things together. Wow, it's weird that all these people that support BRICS and all this other stuff get killed in these crazy ways. And you say about the fog, I guess Alex Jones will blame it on HARP, maybe? I don't know.
It's possible. I mean, this was in a remote region of Iran, so actually up on the border of Azerbaijan. The foreign minister also went down in this crash. He perished as well, Joe, and this is a guy we saw on TV recently. When Iran launched these retaliatory attacks against Israel. So I recognized this guy immediately when they showed him.
I could have been wrong. Maybe it was the foreign minister that wanted to join BRICS and advocated for de-dollarization. It was one of those two, though. Just
possibly,
to correct myself. Yeah. Do you think Anthony Blinken will play a guitar solo at the funeral to smooth over everything?
He's invited, maybe.
If anyone's bored, go out on X, the World of Statistics, @stats_feed. There's a list of assassinations and executed heads of state of government since 1900, and there are literally like 100 of them, all the way back from Haiti in 2021, Chad in 2021. Before that, there was a big break. Before that, it hasn't been one since 2009. But
I just want to say this thing in the Congo is disturbing. I mean, this reeks of CIA.
Oh, we could jump right to that if you want.
Well, I see this is next on the list, but anything else you want to talk about in relation to Iran?
Yeah, not Iran actually. I just want to mention Biden's administration and the locating Hamas story. So last week, Biden administration claimed it could locate Hamas leaders and that it offered to give the locations to Israel to stop the Rafah invasion. But then a day later, the Biden administration ended up being wrong about the whereabouts or the location or whereabouts of these people. And the intel was roughly 1 month old. But it begs the question, they knew where he was a month ago, where these people were a month ago, and they hid it from Israel anyway. They need to tell Qatar to hand over Hamas's senior leadership that's under their protection. But this administration is delaying solving this crisis right now in Israel and with Hamas and Palestine because of how it would play out in Dearborn, Michigan. Do you want to comment before we hop onto the Congo? Because the CIA Congo story could be the number one story today. Should be, at least. But
Yeah, this is interesting. When I saw this, I just thought, oh my goodness, did these guys really try to attempt a coup on the president of the Congo, and came up unsuccessful in their attempt? Joe, what in the heck is going on in Africa?
I don't even know where to begin there. All I saw, it came up on X. 3 Americans accused of being involved in a failed coup attempt in the Congo, left multiple people dead. The U.S. ambassador to the Congo, Lucy Tamlin, maybe is her name, has acknowledged the involvement of U.S. citizens in a recent statement. This is bad for so many reasons. So I guess there was over 50 people involved, and the passport was spreading online of one of the people, 36-year-old U.S. citizen born in Maryland. I believe his name is Benjamin Rubin. And he is actually a paid mercenary by former head of Israel's Mossad spy agency, Yossi Cohen, and a Jewish billionaire, Dan Gertler. So that's this guy's background. I love on X and Twitter, you have these people that are literally like, picture like the Revolutionary War, like the Minutemen. They literally get on there in a minute's notice. They could tell you everything about these people.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine what these 2 Americans are thinking here? They're being apprehended by these Congolese soldiers. I mean, they got to be thinking, we're not getting out of here now. I mean, is there anything more like frightening than being in a prison in the Congo? Like, you're probably going to end up dying. Like, they're going to kill you.
According to this tweet by Pelham on X, this is the second failed coup by Yossi Cohen, who was banned from entering the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Again, who is this guy? Why does he have ties to Mossad? He's also a U.S. citizen. Does he have Israeli citizenship too? I'd like to know more about it. He had his U.S. passport. Coup attempts in the Congo. Why would any American be in the Congo unless they worked for an intelligence agency? And why would they be involved in a coup? It makes no sense to me.
Exactly. What are we doing in the Congo? Why are we trying to overthrow governments in the Congo? Let's just say it was the CIA. I mean, what is going on? We got better things to do, don't we, Joe?
Apparently. I mean, we got a country to take care of over here. We got an entire open invasion coming across the southern border. No one seems to care about that anymore. Also, on this Benjamin Rubin guy, so he's one of the Americans that was arrested yesterday, and he pleaded guilty in 2014 for dealing up to 50 kilograms of marijuana and entered into a cooperation agreement with U.S. justice authorities. So maybe this is part of his plea agreement. I don't know. He had to go over there and try a coup in the Congo. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. Another country we're getting involved in, we shouldn't be involved in. Maybe, I don't know. It's just that an American there involved in a coup attempt seems a little bit weird to me, a little bit strange.
Well, I mean, they just basically evicted us from Niger, so
that is true.
They thought, hey, let's try the Congo.
Get your hat, your coat, and leave. Might as well try the Congo. That's a good point. All right, we got to take a break, but when we return, the comedy duo of Cohen and Costello. Who's on first? More like who's on the bench. Michael Cohen and his former lawyer, Bob Costello, testified at the hush money trial today, and home plate umpire Judge Mershon threw one of them out of the courtroom briefly. Was it the guy that perjured himself for 3 years straight, or the guy that rolled his eyes during his testimony? Stay tuned to find out. You're listening to Thinking Logically on 99.3 WBVP.
Hey guys, it's Joe from Thinking Logically here to tell you about a company I've been using since I got my learner's permit. Grossi & Associates. Using their state-of-the-art equipment, Grossi & Associates offers collision repair for all makes and models, both foreign and domestic. There's a reason why they are voted Best of the Valley year in and year out. They are the collision experts. Grossi & Associates. Call today for a free estimate.
You know, when Joe Biden shuffles in front of the cameras to answer scripted questions during the day, he lies like Don King. But what you don't know is, When he goes to sleep at night, he lies like an Egyptian king because he uses MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River, its long staple cotton makes it ultra soft and breathable. Use the promo code LOGIC to maximize your savings on this amazing product. It's Joe Corsi here from Thinking Logically to tell you about Beaver County's #1 realtor, Mark Galla with RE/MAX Select Realty. With over 10 years experience, Mark knows all the ins and outs of the real estate business, so whether you're looking to rent, buy, sell, or swap your house, you can rely on Mark to take the hassle out. Mark Galla of RE/MAX Select Realty, going above and beyond. Cash for your house. PGHbuyers.com. If you have an unwanted house but don't want the hassle of selling, visit PGHbuyers.com to see if PGHbuyers.com can help. No inspections and a fair cash offer. Visit PGHbuyers.com to sell that unwanted property for a fair price today.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
Okay, welcome back to Thinking Logically here live on 99.3 FM WBVP. Before the break, we were using Prince references as we talked about all the assassination attempts and coups we saw so far this May. Now we're going to get into a different kind of coup, one that started in 2016 after Trump won the general election before he took office in January. And that coup is still going on to this day. But before we do, let's lead off with an audio clip from Claire McCaskill talking about her trips to the grocery store.
I am still at the point when I walk through the grocery store, people come up to me and grab my hand and say, "We're going to be okay, aren't we? He won't win, will he? They won't let him back in the Oval Office, will they?" So I do think there is a level of panic out there because.
Okay, first of all, no one is saying that, especially in the grocery store, where meat and eggs are becoming unaffordable. But the real question is, what does "they won't let him back in the office" really mean? We went down this road after he won in 2016, all the way through 2020 and beyond. Trump won, and Peter Strzok and his girlfriend were immediately summoned to derail his presidency. Then you had the resulting Mueller probe, which tied him up for nearly 2 years. Ukraine phone call impeachment was next. We've gone over this in exhaustion on this show. Then COVID happened. All those were in the name of stopping his first term or, quote, not letting a second term happen. Now it's 2024, and them stopping him is in the form of a bogus court case. All these bogus court cases, actually. And that brings us to our next topic. Judge Juan Merchan just announced closing arguments for the trial will begin on May 28th after Memorial Day, no longer tomorrow, and then went back, I guess, and reversed that about a half hour ago, and the whole case might get dismissed now. Regardless, Mark, I don't even know what's happening anymore. We got to rewrite this episode on the fly here during a baseball game because this judge is just going back and forth. We're going to get to a lot. Michael Cohen, Costello, everything. Where do you want to take it from here?
Well, first of all, about the Claire McCaskill audio you played, she's absolute garbage, first of all, Joe. I told you, when you sent me this, I told you I was in Giant Eagle in Aliquippa a few days ago. Forget what day it was. And I literally overheard people audibly talking about the price of groceries in the store. Like multiple people were talking about, like in the aisles I'm walking by, and I'm just eavesdropping, people talking about how much things cost in the grocery store now. And yeah, people say, "Oh, it's Giant Eagle, the prices are high." Well, Giant Eagle is like almost the same price as my Shop and Save rate, which is right by my house. So I said, I'm going to Giant Eagle. So back to Michael Cohen, okay? This Trump trial. This, like we just said, this is breaking as of maybe in the last hour and a half. That this is from, I think, Andrew Giuliani on X. That they believe that Merchan, he's going to roll on a dismissal tomorrow morning. This is from Andrew Giuliani. He has a couple tweets here. Michael Cohen potentially perjures himself. Bob Costello and Robert and Merchant are at each other's throats. He kicked them out of the courtroom, and a hanging dismissal decision from Merchant to come tomorrow morning. I told you, Joe, I thought Madeline Westerhout would be our Frank Pantangeli, but it looks like it's Robert Costello who was our Frank Pantangeli all along. He went in today, just blew the whole thing up. I mean, destroyed the prosecution's case. And it's like, well, whose word are you going to take, Costello or a convicted perjurer and liar and felon, Michael Cohen? This is also from Andrew Giuliani. Merchant said he is going to reserve the decision until tomorrow morning. We are dismissed, not from the trial, but from the courtroom today until 9:30 tomorrow. So, Joe, is he really going to dismiss this case after 4 weeks in the courtroom? I mean, they're saying that in Trump's attorney, Blanche, what's his name, Todd Blanche, I believe?
Yeah.
Has been calling for this dismissal now since the beginning. And they're saying that if he doesn't dismiss this and it gets to the jury, and somehow the jury convicts Trump, they said this will be overturned on appeal immediately, and it could ruin Merchant's career. So that's kind of the rationale why they're saying Merchant might dismiss this case tomorrow morning. What would the mainstream media do tomorrow morning, Joe, if this happens?
You're going to see.
I hope it does, because I want to see it.
How many self-immolations have we already had this year? Let's just pray it's a hung jury for the safety of all the people in the news media, because honestly, they would light themselves on fire. They would light themselves. They thought they had Trump. They thought this is going to last for. Remember, it was supposed to last all the way until June. They thought they'd be able to dip him over and over again in hot, burning, boiling oil and rake him over the coals for months. And look, did you see what Michael Cohen admitted to today? He admitted that he stole $30,000 from the Trump Organization.
He took the words out of my mouth. I was going to mention that. He admitted in court today that he stole $30,000 from the Trump Organization. He billed them for, like, I don't know, what was it, Joe? IT services?
Yeah, he kept 60% of it.
It actually only cost $20,000, and so he pocketed $30,000. And then you have that idiot Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC trying to rationalize why he stole $30,000 from the Trump Organization, because he was upset because he didn't get the bonus he thought he deserved.
Listen, we've all seen Goodfellas. In the skim, they didn't go out and take 60% of the money. That's why it's called a skim. You don't take $30,000 off a $50,000. No, you maybe take $1,000. Maybe you get crazy and you take 10%. Maybe. You don't take 30,000 of the 50. Did you see what Jack Posobiec tweeted?
I did not.
He claimed that it looks like Cohen is the one that initiated the payment scheme himself while Trump was busy in the middle of a campaign, and Cohen used that as pocket money on the side as a middleman between the Trump Organization and Stormy Daniels. This needs thrown out immediately, and we didn't even get to Costello and Judge Merchant yet. I'll let you go for a second. Go.
Wait, Michael Cohen. This is no exaggeration. Michael Cohen's testimony, and the things he has said in this trial are so contradictory. It makes like your head spin. Like you can't keep it all straight, because none of what he's saying actually adds up and implicates Trump in anything. I mean, you have multiple people who are contradicting everything Michael Cohen is saying. And Michael Cohen is a known liar, perjurer, and he's been on record saying that he wants to see Trump go to jail. So, after all of this, Bob Costello takes the stand today, and apparently him and Judge Merchant like kind of go at it a little bit. And Merchant dismisses the jury and basically excoriates Costello. And Merchant says, "Are you staring me down right now?" Costello says, "I'm not." Merchant says, "Get out of the courtroom now. Get out of the courtroom." Video cuts out. And this was going back to, I think Costello was making comments. He said something like Jesus, and he rolled his eyes.
That's like a wife.
Or something like that. And apparently he was giving Merchant some looks. And Merchant didn't like it.
It sounds like Merchant's his wife, and he's getting like, "Are you looking at me wrong? Get out of here!" That's like a man and wife argument there, not a judge and a witness.
So Costello, I think what happened was Merchant was probably so shook that Costello's testimony would blow this whole thing up that he probably reacted in a negative way. Either way, there's probably some poor decorum there on behalf of Costello, but regardless, this was not good for the prosecution at all, and I can't wait until tomorrow morning to see what happens. Even if he doesn't dismiss it, the closing arguments should begin when, Joe? Next week? Early next week?
Well, they were going to delay it. I don't know now. They were going to delay it until after Labor Day. Closing arguments were supposed to begin, I think, tomorrow, I thought. They were supposed to.
Yeah, possibly.
But everything was supposed to be delayed again. Then literally a half hour before we jumped on, you showed me that tweet, and I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but it's going to be interesting. Did you see?
Let's before you move on, let's just talk real quick about this. Did you see the video? I think I sent it to you. I don't know if you were able to watch it. Alina Habba posted it. Margot Martin posted it. Trump, the amount of people that were in Manhattan taking video of Trump's caravan leaving Manhattan was probably in the hundreds. People on the sidewalk just trying to get a glimpse of Trump in his caravan as he's leaving Manhattan. Unbelievable, Joe. They are turning him into a hero. It's incredible. I mean, this has backfired completely on the Democrats. I mean, the polling is going the complete opposite way for Biden. Trump is leading in all of these swing states, all across the nation. He's getting actually more popular and more likable the longer this goes on. So, love to see it.
Well, also, you mentioned how he gets a crowd, and this is from Green Lives Matter on X. Nice transition. And it's Trump in the audience at Barron's graduation. And he says, "Here you have one of the most famous men alive sitting as a part of the crowd watching his son, Barron Trump, graduate from high school. It's absolutely bizarre to see him blending in with a crowd like this, but I'm here for it." And he does. He blended pretty much right in. I'm sure they're secret. Some of those people in the audience are probably Secret Service members. But, yeah, you have Trump attending his son's graduation party like that, and you have scores of people anywhere Trump shows up to. And then you have Joe Biden, who can't get anyone to stand for him when he's attending a college commencement. Did you see that? Everyone turned their back on him, I think, at Morehouse College. Not everyone, but there was also a lot of empty seats surrounding the alumni.
This speech, are we going to get into what he said?
Ryan, you have the audio for Joe Biden. I know we only got about 2 or 3 minutes left, but go ahead and play some of that Joe Biden audio.
And when I was vice president, things were kind of bad during the pandemic. And what happened was, Barack said to me, "Go to Detroit, and they'll fix it." Well, poor mayor, he spent more time with me than he ever thought he was going to have to.
Okay, I know it's very possible that Biden could have thought he'd been giving that speech to a bunch of college graduates, but I think that was from a campaign event the day before. Regardless, he thought he was vice president during COVID. No matter what clip you play of Joe Biden, it ends up just being bad.
Wow. I mean, this tweet you have here, Joe, it says, "Biden is hemorrhaging the black vote and it's getting worse." This speech, Joe, was a complete race baiting. I mean, like, who wrote this for him? I mean, he basically told these black college graduates. I mean, people want to talk about Harrison Butker's commencement address. This was 100 times worse. I mean, he's telling these black college graduates that America hates you, that you have to work harder than everyone else because you're black. I mean, he's race baiting these people and telling these people that America hates them, basically. This is not uplifting in any way, shape, or form. And then he goes on to say that he is from the Jewish community today. This was today at like an hour ago at the White House. He gives a speech in the Rose Garden. He said he came from this is a direct quote, he came from the Jewish community. What? Where's the yarmulke?
A black Irish Catholic Jew. That's
He said
Cuban.
Biden has also claimed to have been raised in the following communities of Delaware: Irish, Black, Italian, Puerto Rican, Palestinian, Greek, Persian, Japanese, and Catholic.
He's going to be Muslim next. I guess maybe that's Persian, but he's going to have to be Muslim next when given everything that's going on in the Middle East. In Dearborn, Michigan, he better convert.
What about well, he might, because what about when he clapped when the student giving the speech called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, and he clapped.
I did see that. There's just honestly too many sound bites. I think I got them all confused. I could have had a 5-minute soundbite of Joe Biden just from three events that he did the last 2 days. All right, before we tell you anything else, before we take a break, I'm sorry, just a Muslim, Black, Jewish, Irish, Catholic is just it's too much for my brain.
Does anyone believe this stuff when he talks?
Like we've always said, there used to be a time where lying about this stuff would get you. It would be curtains for your campaign. No one cares, and it's not like this dude is even doing good for the country. Okay, when we return, David DePape has been sentenced to 30 years in prison for assaulting Paul Pelosi while he was in his underwear. Also, P. Diddy was not arrested for beating his then girlfriend to a pulp while he was in a towel. Why is one punishment different than the other? Do we care more about protecting old rich white men than women of color? Again, 2 crimes, 2 different punishments, and too many questions left unanswered. We'll dive in when we return to Thinking Logically on 99.3 WBVP.
Hey guys, it's Joe from Thinking Logically here to tell you about a company I've been using since I got my learner's permit. Grossi & Associates. Using their state-of-the-art equipment, Grossi & Associates offers collision repair for all makes and models, both foreign and domestic. There's a reason why they are voted Best of the Valley year in and year out. They are the collision experts. Grossi & Associates. Call today for a free estimate.
Can tuning into a radio show really change your life? It can when you listen to Teleforum in the 9 o'clock hour, the third Tuesday of every month. Tom Young from First Consultants in Beaver will be the special guest expert and talk about how managing and thinking about the money you already have can potentially create financial freedom for many of you. You can also watch the live video stream of the show on the WBVP-WMBA Facebook page.
Beaver County Radio, your hometown radio station. You're listening live from the Fry Transportation Studios. Beaver County Radio and Fry Transportation, proud to call Beaver County home.
It's Joe again from Thinking Logically, here to tell you about one of my favorite clothing items, the MyPillow hoodie. 2 things I love the most about this hoodie are how it fits and how it feels. This hoodie is extremely roomy, and its terry cloth material makes it lighter than any other hoodie I own. Use promo code LOGIC to maximize your savings. The MyPillow hoodie. Get yours today.
The Rochester True Value, located inside the Shop and Save on the Ohio River Boulevard, is proudly serving the community. The Rochester True Value is independently owned and operated and has experienced workers who can help you with your home projects. The Rochester True Value has tools, products, and all the equipment needed for you to get the job done. The Rochester True Value inside the Shop and Save is open and ready to help with your home improvements. That's the Rochester True Value in Shop and Save on the Ohio River Boulevard.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP.
Okay, welcome back to Thinking Logically on 99.3 WBVP, brought to you by Mitchell's Jewelers. Remember, it takes an enormous amount of pressure to make a diamond, so why should you put yourself under any more pressure when buying one? Don't! Go to Mitchell's Jewelers, where the choice is as clear as their diamonds. Mitchell's Jewelers, located at 2454 Mill Street in Aliquippa, PA. That's 2454 Mill Street in Aliquippa, PA. Okay, Mark, this David DePape story we've been following for well over a year. It just won't die. And this is from John Hassan, I believe, on X. Want to hear something nuts? June of 2022. Nicholas Rusk attempts to assassinate Brett Kavanaugh. 4 months later, a man attacks Nancy Pelosi's husband. Nancy Pelosi's attacker has already been tried, convicted, and sentenced to 30 years in prison. Meanwhile, Rusk hasn't even gone to trial. And, okay, this story 30 years. It's just weird to me. I had to go back to an old episode and look up some of the facts that I even forgot. Mark and Ryan, feel free to jump in whenever. Did you know the San Francisco police testified that DePappy's backpack contained 2 inflatable multicolor unicorn costumes? No, not one unicorn, two unicorns. And the last time I checked, unicorns are pretty rare. DePappy's longtime girlfriend, the mother of his children, even said she believes the footage of the, quote, gay hammer attack was staged. Go ahead and play that audio, Ryan.
A woman who says she's the mother of DePapp's children told us she believes all the evidence against him, including the videos, are a fraud.
It's David. Yes, it's David in the video. And yes, you see those things, but I absolutely believe that this was staged later.
82.
Okay, so a random guy breaking into the protected house of the, I guess, second in the presidential order of succession, second or third, regardless, and accosting her spouse with a hammer while they were both in their underwear is about as believable as Israel being completely unaware of the plans for the October 7th attack. But remember, that drink had fresh ice, and David DePappy was there for hours, according to the surveillance video. I can see how the hammer might make you think, hey, maybe this was a brutal attack after breaking and entering. But why are they both holding it? Can anyone answer these questions? Is it just me? Call in. Again, call in 724-843-1888, 724-774-1888. This is not the weirdest story in the world. They both were holding the hammer. He was there for hours. They're in their underwear. The fresh ice, the ice just crinkling around in there. What am I missing?
30 years seems like a lot for this. That's all I'm saying. I mean, should this guy go to jail for what he did? Absolutely. But 30 years? 30. For breaking into his house. It's all very strange. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what to make of this since this story came out.
You would have to think
this mentally ill guy who somehow got around security, broke into a house and Paul Pelosi was in his underwear. I don't know.
That's the main point, though. He got around security somehow. So did anyone get reprimanded? If it was Capitol Hill Police, maybe? I don't think it would be Secret Service. Capitol Hill Police, San Francisco Police, whoever was there. I'm sure there was a security detail there. Was anyone held responsible for their lack of, what did the Epstein, the Jeffrey Epstein guard go right to this job after? What is this? They were asleep. You have one job, protect the house of Nancy and Paul Pelosi, and you let some homeless guy with 2 inflatable unicorns and a sleeping bag get in through the kitchen window?
He even let Paul Pelosi call 911.
Yeah. The image of them opening the door with smile in their underwear, both holding the same hammer with smiles on their faces. Like I said, a hammer is a one person tool. I don't I don't see anyone using a hammer with someone else. That'd be gay.
I gotta tell you this, guys, if you don't mind, if I'm in a situation where somebody's threatening me with a hammer, I'm not smiling. I'm not standing there holding. You're frightened.
Would you make a drink?
Yeah, I might make a drink, but come on,
Would you just immediately get down into your boxers?
It's unbelievable. You would be panic stricken. You would be trying to,
Well, who called the police?
Right.
30 years is kind of weird, especially when you go into our next story about P. Diddy, which we could go to. But 30 years, like Mark said, it's just weird. It's talking about throwing the book at him. But there's other people that have done way, way worse that don't even get a trial, or they get a plea deal, or way lesser skate. Anyone round table?
It's just, and I know you're going to talk about Diddy next, but it just seems like a lot. It just seems like they had a hand in the decision here by whoever rendered this verdict, this sentence.
Yeah. And then compare it with the next story that we're getting into now. The video of Sean Combs beating up his then girlfriend. Look up the scene from the movie Get Him to the Greek. That's it. That's it. That's the scene. That's what P. Diddy, if you've seen the movie, you have to know the movie rights, I guess, to understand. And then you rewind back what Cat Williams and 50 Cent said, like, not too long ago, a few months, that Sean Combs, P. Diddy, he's a Fed. And maybe that's why he wasn't prosecuted. And I think 50 Cent was the one that brought that. He doesn't get prosecuted because he's a Fed. Kanye also claimed P. Diddy was a Fed. And if you remember the Chappelle show, Dave Chappelle played a very weird P. Diddy in Making the Band. Very weird in those skits. Granted, it's just a skit show, but I don't know what to make of this. Why P. Diddy is just skating for all these heinous crimes against women of color, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder what Diddy has been up to, or who put Diddy up to some of these things. You know, apparently he couldn't be prosecuted for this assault on this woman. I think it was, what was her name again, Joe? I forget.
Cassie something.
Because it fell outside of the statute of limitations. Yet they're going to try to charge Trump on something that allegedly happened 8 years ago.
That's a good point. One has video evidence, too.
What's that?
I said, and one has video evidence and one doesn't.
Right. But this is strange. I mean, Joe, Diddy has been up to no good for sure. And, you know, you have to think, you know, I mean, whatever happened with that raid, by the way?
Who knows?
On his properties in Miami and Los Angeles.
That the media didn't feel like it was an important thing to cover because there was a Trump trial going on. And if you remember, Stormy Daniels was going to take the stand in like a week. So they were all excited and giddy about that. The story got completely ignored.
I was going to say, is Diddy working for the government?
If he was, in what capacity? Anything, it just leads to another question. Because for years we were told that like minorities and women and everything like that, especially women of color, were supposed to be treated equally and well. And look at this. A woman of color thrown to the ground by a millionaire. Billionaire. Actually, is P. Diddy a billionaire? It's the same Donald Trump thing. It's just, I mean, it's always on video.
He is completely trash. I mean, after watching this video, I mean,
shame on the media for ignoring it.
Have any respect for this guy?
He just recycled music. He took old hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s and just, you know, boom. Cool in the Gang. Let's just make a Mace song out of that. Hollywood Swinging? How about we just change the lyrics around? Add a few more bass. All right. Before we take a break, we got to cover this other story. We're on the topic of, I guess, sexual assault. Maybe Paul or David Apapi could be considered sexual assault. We don't even know. P. Diddy assault. And then this rape dungeon, a rape dungeon that was found. What was this? What state was this? Hold on. I don't know where the actual van was found, but Eduardo Sarabia, I don't even know how to say his name, an illegal immigrant from Mexico was arrested and accused of operating a mobile rape dungeon with a modified 2015 Ford Transit van. Inside the van, authorities and officers found condoms, ropes, children's toys, cell phones, hard drives, and a stained mattress. And I'm guessing it wasn't a pretty scene.
Yeah, I saw this on X and saw the video of it, and man, this is
California.
It was actually kind of tough to watch.
California, go figure. And he's also something about a 26-year-old woman. That's what led to him being apprehended. I can't read the article.
Sick.
But this is who's coming here. When Trump said in 2015, 2016, some of them are good people, but some of them might be rapists. He was right. All right. He was right. And when we come back, you know who else is right again? Alex Jones. Famous conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Another conspiracy theory that came true. Stay tuned to find out which one it was. You're listening to Thinking Logically on 99.3 WBVP.
Are you ready to rumble? For the 33rd year in a row, the main drag in Beaver Falls will come alive on Saturday, June 8th with a loud roar and vibrant colors that can mean only one thing. It's the annual Beaver Falls Car Cruise. Make plans to witness the 15-block cruise lane, vehicle display, and food vendors on 7th Avenue in Beaver Falls from 11 to 7 on Saturday, June 8th, rain or shine. The free event is presented in part by Deal Ford Kia, Eddie Isabella State Farm Insurance, 99.3 FM WBVP and 95.7 FM The Beaver, and Duquesne Light. Additional support is provided by Beaver Falls Health Mart Pharmacy, Kenya Johns for State Representative, Auto Body Products, PPG and Tri-County Management McDonald's, among others. Shine up the hot rod because the second Saturday in June always means the Beaver Falls Car Cruise. You're listening to Beaver County Radio, coming to you live from the Fry Transportation Studios. Beaver County Radio and Fry Transportation, a winning team. 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP, providing news, sports, and information for 76 years.
Hey guys, it's Joe from Thinking Logically here to tell you about a company I've been using since I got my learner's permit. Grossi & Associates. Using their state-of-the-art equipment, Grossi & Associates offers collision repair for all makes and models, both foreign and domestic. There's a reason why they are voted Best of the Valley year in and year out. They are the collision experts. Grossi & Associates. Call today for a free estimate.
Join Beaver County Radio on Monday, May 27th for a special audio and video presentation of this year's Memorial Day Parade in Beaver. Mike Romai will have live audio coverage on WBVP 99.3 FM and BCR streaming outlets. You can watch the video coverage on the Beaver County Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel. Beaver County Radio's coverage of the 2024 Beaver County Memorial Day Parade in Beaver is being brought to you by Falcones Moon Township Ford and Beaver County Radio.
You know, when Joe Biden shuffles in front of the cameras to answer scripted questions during the day, he lies like Don King. But what you don't know is, when he goes to sleep at night, he lies like an Egyptian king because he uses MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River, its long staple cotton makes it ultra soft and breathable. Use the promo code LOGIC to maximize your savings on this amazing product.
Beaver County Radio proudly welcomes Fry Transportation to their family. You're listening to 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP, live from the all-new Fry Transportation Studios.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
Welcome back to Thinking Logically here on 99.3 WBVP. Last segment, every so many centuries, the heavens send us a soothsayer to say things that are true, but so unbelievable they are mocked into oblivion as they say them. But turns out some of the things they say in hindsight becomes true, and that is Alex Jones. I guess since 2001. I'm kind of being sarcastic here. Another Alex Jones prediction has apparently come true. Ryan, play the audio first.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny. What do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby.
Okay, so you're probably wondering why is that being played. It's because NBC's Universal Peacock channel is launching a new series. This isn't a special. This is an entire series about gay and transgender animals. Mark, he tried to warn us and we didn't listen. We mocked him. Now the term pride of lions means something totally different. And they're going to use this stuff to normalize the move forward with their transgender agenda. Just watch. Look, just because one species in nature can change its gender doesn't mean that we humans should. And who exactly is asking for this to be normalized, especially with children? Look, you want to be a clownfish? Go ahead and be a clownfish. Fitting name. For those of you that don't know, all clownfish are born males, and a clownfish group consists of a dominant male and a female, and numerous juvenile males, I think. So when the female, where does the female come in the group? Well, when the female dies, the dominant male changes sex to become the dominant female, and then one of the juveniles will become a dominant male. That won't work in humans. In the ocean, where male seahorses are the ones that get pregnant and have baby seahorses, maybe it works there, sure. But here on land, where us humans live, mammals, it doesn't work. And a friendly reminder that we are like less than 2 weeks away from Pride Month, so this is going to be shoved down our throats here for another 30 days. Mark.
I'm not going to lie. When I saw this, I thought, I'm actually kind of interested in this documentary here. I love the Animal Kingdom, and the real one and the one in Disney World, but I was like, I might watch this. But I think the overarching thing here is, Joe, we're seeing birth rates plummet across the world. This came out in the news, I think, today in the Wall Street Journal. And governments need to be incentivizing families to have children. That's what the problem is today. We are hitting a point of no return where the plummeting birth rates are going to cause a problem for future generations down the road. We might not be around to feel that impact, but certainly our children and grandchildren will. I mean, people are not having children, or they're not having as many children as before. And that is a major, major problem across the world. So let's incentivize people to have children and to get married and have families. Let's do that.
Make it so hard with all the printing of the money and inflation, and then both parents have to work, and there's no one to babysits the kids. And but have more kids. Kids are beautiful. There was a time in my life where, honestly, I didn't know if I would have kids. Then, long behold, get married, have a kid. Greatest thing that ever happens to you.
Yeah, my future son-in-law.
Yeah, we'll have to work like Game of Thrones. We will join our houses at some point. All right, moving on. Julian Assange, he won his high court bid to bring appeal against extradition to the U.S. So the U.S. authorities want to put the WikiLeaks founder on trial for over 18 charges. Nearly all of them are under the Espionage Act. But with Monday's decision, it makes this a little bit difficult, I believe. He's going to be allowed to appeal his extradition to the U.S., where before I don't think they were going to hear the appeal. Mark, in as few words as you can describe, why is Julian Assange in jail, or he was in the Panamanian embassy somewhere, Peruvian embassy in the United Kingdom. Why is he in jail and been locked away so long?
Well, he told on somebody, Joe, and that somebody's probably one by the name of Hillary Clinton. He leaked lots of sensitive information out there called WikiLeaks. So a lot of cables, private documents, classified documents, I think. And Hillary Clinton was implicated in this, was one of the people implicated in this whole WikiLeaks scandal, along with other government officials. But, the big bad government doesn't like when you tell on them, Joe, when you expose the corruption and lies. And Julian Assange did that maybe more than anyone alive today.
Yeah. And you mentioned the leak. I want everyone to remember, because they blamed it on a Russian hack for the server. It wasn't a hack. It was a leak. And the person that did the leak to WikiLeaks' name was Seth Rich. He was a patriot, and now he was dead because he was murdered on the streets of Washington, D.C. in a supposed robbery. Probably an MS-13 gang member put a hit out on him. Sounds crazy, but that's how this stuff works. Remember, it wasn't a hack by Russia. It was a leak by someone in Hillary Clinton's own, whatever it would be. Was he part of the Hillary Clinton campaign, or DNC, I believe he was part of?
Yes.
Okay.
DNC.
Yeah. So we'll follow that one. Again, you know how I feel. I want to hear the trial, so I kind of wish he would get extradited to the United States, but I don't think he'll get a fair trial here. I think they would just throw him in jail for the rest of his life in a dark hole.
Correct.
Okay, speaking of dark holes, Fani Willis. She's campaigning to keep her job, and she's on the ballot tomorrow in Georgia, Mark. I'm pretty sure Georgia's primary is tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Odds?
And she's up for re-election?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Odds that she makes it.
Then.
Odds that she makes it. I mean, she's campaigning on the Get Trump stuff still. How's that going to work? She's on the defensive in her trial.
Well, we're going to see. I mean, Fulton County, I mean, as you know, demographically, we'll probably, support her, but I guess we're going to find out.
Is it a failed campaign promise already? Is it a failed campaign promise? Because she was supposed to get Trump last time. Is this a failed campaign promise?
Well, I'm actually having a hard time hearing you. The plane flies directly over my house right now. This is very loud.
I said Fani Willis, not getting Trump like she said. Is that Is that a campaign promise that she did not fulfill?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So it sounds like she won't be reelected. If she's going to campaign on like a failure, it doesn't make any sense at all. Well,
how much time do we have left, Joe?
About 2 minutes.
Well, I wanted to mention this. On Thursday, the date of our next show, President Trump will be hosting a rally in the South Bronx. Joe, is the Trump campaign making a play for New York?
Well, I don't see why not. He's from New York. Look at the trial. Look at the crowds.
What's that?
Look at the crowds outside the trials and everything. He can make a play for New York.
Yeah.
You saw Jersey.
I am actually playing around with the electoral map right now as we speak, and we need that congressional district in Nebraska. We need Nebraska to be winner take all. We can't have that one congressional district hanging over our heads because I think Trump might lose if that happens. If Trump loses all the Rust Belt states, let's just say Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and wins Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia, and wins Nebraska, winner take all, it's 269-269. Is that going to happen? It could.
That's bad if
and
that
happens. Would go
happens.
to the House.
Yeah, and that's very bad because that's very, very bad. I do not trust it going to the House. You want to win the electoral map. You want to blow out the electoral map. You want a Reagan-esque victory.
Yeah. I think hopefully he'll win one of those three, Wisconsin, Michigan, PA, and then it'll be game over.
He should win them all. Again, we have to overcome the cheating, too, because they're going to try, and who knows what's going to unfold in the next 6 to 8 weeks here. Something is afoul here. I don't know. And then you have the Hunter Biden trial coming up here in June. Pride Month coming up here in June as well, so that'll be another thing we'll have to cover. It's going to be an exciting 4 to 6 weeks here.
Yeah, well, we'll be here. We'll be here along for the ride, and we're in the arena, and we are in this to the end.
All right. And that will not end on Election Day. We have a lot of work to do. 4 full years of work and then some, because our country has been destroyed the last 4. We got a lot of catching up to do, as some of our teachers would say. All right, we got about a minute left. Anything else you want to say, Mark, before we head out of here?
Shout out Pope Francis for disparaging conservative Catholics on his interview last night with 60 Minutes. Yesterday was on a rosary march and Eucharistic procession through the streets of Pittsburgh, Joe. It was nice to see so many people show up as the body of Christ was processed through the city. So Jesus is alive.
Okay. Hell to Jesus. Ryan, before we head out, anything?
And no, great show as always, guys.
Did you like the Prince references?
I did. I picked up on them pretty early. The Raspberry Beret was the one that really pulled me in.
I can't sing it, so I got to try to say it how he would. But my sister's a big Prince fan.
All right.
I love Prince. But all right, that's it for us. We'll be back on Thursday. There might be another time delay because of high school baseball on Thursday and Monday. After that, we're in the clear. This has been Thinking Logically. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you Thursday.